Hello friends, so if you've watched the video 2 videos ago, you'll know that I've finally recently moved to Japan. And as a part of that, I also got myself a dedicated studio office space that is a very convenient 4-minute walk away from my apartment. This entire space is a dedicated space just for working and for YouTube and some gaming, of course, and so on. And I'll go through the rest of the studio space, which includes the gaming setup, the filming setup, the overhead rig, the breakaway space, and all this other kind of fun stuff in a future video. But for now, for this video, I wanted to show you guys the setup that I've got going on behind me over here, which is my main working desk. So this video is actually sponsored by the makers of this desk, a desk that is most certainly the best sit-stand desk that I've ever used. It's called the Tenon by a company called Beflo. More on the desk and all of the wonderful features and all the things in just a little bit. Let's start with the computer running all of the things first and foremost. Now, I am still running the Apple Mac Studio M1 Ultra as my main computer here in the studio because it is just so fast, and still in my second year of owning it since it came out, it is still more than fast enough for all of the things that I want to do, photo and video. This particular one has the 20-core CPU and 48-core GPU with 64 gigs of unified memory and 1 terabyte of storage. For monitors, I've always loved the Dell IPS panels because they're just so good when it comes to color and performance for the amount that you spend. These particular models that I have are nice because they actually have a 2000:1 contrast ratio, making it actually surprisingly good for an LCD panel. I've got 2 of the same monitors here, and they're both mounted on a Ergotron LX dual monitor arm, which are both super sturdy and very flexible at the same time. On top of the monitors, I'm still running the same BenQ Screenbar Halo, which has been great to provide a lot of ambient lighting to the space and to the desk, and it also reduces eye fatigue, which is super important to me since I'm staring at a screen all day. All right, when it comes to peripherals, longtime viewers of the channel will know that I love my custom luxury mechanical keyboards. The one that I've currently got on rotation right now is the Haven 65, which is most certainly the most expensive, but also the best one that I own right now. This particular configuration is running on an FR4 plate, Gateron Azure Dragon V2s on a set of Novel Keys charcoal keycaps. And I tend to swap out keyboards every week just to keep things fresh, and some of the other boards that I have in the rotation right now are the Mode Envoy, Parallel Portal, and the Percent Studio Trio 75. Now, when it comes to mice, I absolutely hate productivity mice. They're heavy and they're bulky, and they never have the latest sensors on them, so they feel sluggish and slow. And yes, before you sound off in the comments, I've used both the MX Master 2 and 3 in my years, and I've used them almost exclusively until I switched over to gaming mice. Gaming mice are always faster with higher resolution sensors and faster response times, and not to mention they are much lighter, which means less fatigue, more accuracy, and overall I love having the lightest mouse possible. I use the Logitech G Pro X Superlight for productivity because I also use the same one for my gaming setup, and I like that it feels consistent from workstation to workstation. Now, everything is sitting on top of a black desk mat that I bought off Amazon. Nothing special about this one, I just like it because it's black. Now, when it comes to audio, I'm actually a little bit of an audiophile. Maybe not all the way audiophile, but I do appreciate good sound. So for this setup, I have 2 Genelec G Three studio monitors, which is actually the highest fidelity monitor that I have ever personally owned, and they're definitely the limit of how sensitive my ears are. And I love them. The sound is so clean and well balanced with more than enough clarity and dynamic range for what I use them for. Powering them is the iFi Audio ZEN DAC, which I know is not the best DAC, but for what I do, again, it's more than enough. It's also very small, and it sits on top of my Mac Studio with the volume knob just at the very end of my reach. Now, on top of that, I've got this little fake bonsai tree with red moss for leaves, and I actually bought this from an Etsy store when I I first moved into my last Sydney apartment, and I like it. It's super cute and it's a little bit Japanese inspired as well. In the back of the desk, we have a Sony ZV-E1 with a 20mm lens as my little kind of webcam when I need to take calls and such. And it is also the main camera that I use when going out to take video exclusively. And it is an absolute weapon of a camera. I love this little camera. Check out this video if you want to check out my full thoughts about it. Okay, living in the back of the setup, I have my SSDs, which are 4 custom-made 8TB NVMe SSDs, which I keep in this little Bellroy tech pouch thing that Sony gave me for a job once. And I have this kind of setup because I have multiple computers and I need to be able to share data between all of them. And yes, I know that carrying 32 terabytes of data with me at all times seems a little bit overkill, but 16 terabytes is for video hot storage and the other 16 terabytes is for photo hot storage and the rest is up there in the cloud. And this is a setup that keeps me portable and keeps me super duper fast, but still keeps me very dynamic across many different computers, many different catalogs, and many different setups. Let me know if you want a video about my own storage setup thing, because I get a lot of questions about this quite often, actually. Now, some other knickknacks that I keep on my desk are a fellow tumbler for my coffee and my tea. I keep a MagSafe charger for my phone as well, and the CW&T pen Type B from my previous tech video makes a return as well. Oh, and finally, I've got a hourglass timer that I bought from Zara Home. And now we've got all of that out of the way, we get to what all of this gear is sitting on, the desk itself. This is the Tenon by Beflo, and it is most certainly the best standing desk on the market that I know of anyway. And for the price, it most certainly should be. This particular configuration is the premium configuration, but Beflo were also nice enough to send me the red oak top with these black legs here, just so it fits the rest of the aesthetic of the studio. So this particular configuration is a custom one and not one that you can buy outright, unfortunately. But the functionality is the same across all models, and what makes this desk so damn special is just all of the tech that is baked into it while keeping so minimal and clean. There's not a single sharp edge on this desk. There's no protruding motors or anything like that. Every single leg on this desk has its own dedicated motor, and to control it, along with the inbuilt LED strip at the back and other settings, you can use the inbuilt touch screen, or you can control everything with the app as well. Now, to control all of the clutter of cables and such, the Tenon also has a USB and power outlet built into the desk itself, as well as add-on accessories like a modesty panel with rails, cable holders, docking stations, cord covers, all to make sure that the only cables that you see are the ones that you need. Now, this desk is not cheap, but when I moved to Tokyo, I told myself that I really wanted to get a premium desk to work at so that I could not only do my best work, but I could also love doing it every single day. This is that desk. And thank you to Beflo for sending it to me and for sponsoring this video. I really, really adore it. Now, to sit on, again, when I moved to Tokyo, I told myself that I wanted to finally get a proper, nice, expensive office chair to sit on. So, of course, I had to go with the Herman Miller Embody. It's Herman Miller's most expensive chair, and for a good reason. It is by far the most comfortable and ergonomic thing that I've ever sat on, and it keeps my back in good condition for those long hours at the desk working, or those even longer hours when I am gaming. Yes, again, this is expensive, but for me, I spend so much time working in the studio that I would much prefer putting my money towards the things that I use the most, rather than getting expensive bags or luxury clothing or whatever the case may be. And that's it. This is my new desk setup, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration for your own setups. Let me know if there are things in your setup that you absolutely adore that you think I should check out, because I'm always looking for continuous improvements when it comes to my desk and the ways that I work. All right, I'll see you in the next video, but until then, get out there and make something that matters. Peace.